All right, hey everybody, welcome to YouTube's first ever live series, Live with YouTube Gaming. Happy Halloween to all. We've got an awesome show tonight for you, including live gameplay of Halo Wars 2, a world premiere trailer of the Halloween trailer for Dead Rising 4. MatPat is back for another Deadlock debate, and it will be a controversial one. Should Nintendo stop making consoles? We've got all the latest news about the League of Legends Worlds, which will be live on YouTube this Saturday. We've got a new video from iHas Cupquake, and so much more. As always, we've got quizzes and votes for you guys to interact with us live throughout the entire show, so head to primetimevoting.com right now and keep that tab open because we'll have lots of ways for you to interact with us directly all hour long. Live with YouTube Gaming starts right now.
These are big chairs.
All right, here we go, live with YouTube Gaming. We are so thrilled to have you with us live. We want to welcome you to an hour of video game power, and we've got MatPat, the game theorist, with us.
Oh, man, video game power, Nintendo power too.
Nintendo power. You're going to be talking about Nintendo.
I am going to be talking a lot about Nintendo today.
Debate coming up. Great to have you with us. We've got Jessica Chobot from Nerdist. Great to have you with us.
Thank you.
And Save Point. How are things, Jessica?
Everything's are good.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the season, right? All the games are coming out.
All the games are coming out. I'm starting to feel a little stressed that I don't have enough time to play them, but at the same time, it's just nice to see some new stuff hitting the shelf. So
I know.
I've actually been eyeballs deep in some Stardew Valley, so that's my happy place.
A great game. I think we'll hear about that at the Game Awards. That's an amazing game. Kyle Bossman, fan favorite. Great to have you with us, Bossman.
I don't like it when you call me fan favorite, Jeff.
Are you a fan favorite?
No, I'm not.
So I think
No shame.
people like their Bossman.
Embrace the love, man.
Okay, all right. I'll be fan favorite. I'll be fan favorite.
You'll be fan favorite. All right,
Yeah.
well, let's get to some news.
Okay,
Talking
sure.
about what's happening in the world of gaming in our Let's News segment. First up, this week we got a lot of trailers for some brand new video games for Dishonored 2, Titanfall 2, and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, but they all had one thing in common. They were live action trailers, not actually from the game. So we were wondering, do trailers like these live action ones, do you prefer them or do you prefer to see gameplay or cutscenes? We want to know from you guys at home at primetimevoting.com. Lock in and let us know what you guys feel. Do you prefer these or not? Has a live action video game trailer ever changed your desire to buy a game? Let's have that vote happen at primetimevoting.com. But let's jump into this right now. Jessica, Dishonored, Call of Duty, they all do these trailers. Do you get excited by them when you see them on an NFL game?
I mean, I get hyped up in the fact that it's just, I like the grandioseness of it all.
Yeah.
But honestly, the only thing that really gets me deciding whether or not I'm going to buy a game or if it's kind of up to par with what I have in my head is gameplay.
Yep.
So I always look for gameplay. I don't know if it's just because I've been doing this for a long time, and so to jump on the hype train for me, it just doesn't really happen anymore, or what, but I appreciate the effort and the pizzazz that goes into live action trailers, but I would much rather see gameplay so that I have a better idea of what I'm buying.
Absolutely, and the Titanfall 2 one, that was like a cool CG thing that I think the guys at Blur did. So it's like it sometimes feels, inspired by the game, but it's not
this to me,
gameplay.
I don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, the goal, I guess, of these is to potentially get a more mainstream audience to be like, this looks really cool, I want to play it. Matt, what's your take? Like even the Call of Duty ones, it's fun, but they've been doing sort of that same concept, I feel like, for 6+ years now.
Yeah, well, first, the news story that I really want to talk about is the fact that you guys are matching.
Yeah,
right now.
hell yeah.
You really your teals,
exactly.
are really jiving together.
It fits the Halloween theme,
all three
right?
of you,
really
really,
cute.
you're blue.
Is that
You're
blue?
kind of your blue kitty
Why are you
space
so drab
jet.
over here?
I don't know.
We're blue dabba dee dabba die.
I like to stick out.
That's a throwback for you. No, I have to agree with Jessica. I am not super excited to see these sorts of real life trailers, and I totally agree. I think that it's an effort to expand the gaming audience outward and to kind of attract that mainstream audience where they might not be as excited to see like the graphical fidelity that we can expect from this game. They might not relate to as closely as a typical gamer, like just gameplay scenes and understand what they're seeing in those moments. And so I understand the need to create these gameplay or these live action trailers. But honestly, for me, the buying decision is ultimately going to be based on, well, reviews first and foremost, but also just the gameplay that I can expect.
Yeah, I always just thought it was so much more impressive when you got a chance to see Red Dead, you know, come out and look so amazing, and you're like, oh, I'm so on board for this, versus something like that.
Rockstar would never do a live action trailer.
Yeah,
like,
but
you just can't see that.
I mean, it's not going to happen. But just as a comparison, to me, that was
ahead.
just so much more impactful than something like this, which can sometimes and oftentimes does come off as like a fan film.
Right. No, I agree, and that's the thing is, like, you know, we've seen on YouTube, like, people will do these sort of films inspired by these
And as a
games.
fan, that's amazing.
Yeah.
but from the company, I'm kind of like, I don't,
No, it's a
of course
great
you
point.
can do that. You've got
Great
the budget.
Right.
I'd rather see the fans do this because they don't have
Sure.
the budget and they're actually being creative and
Well, and
solving
even
these problems.
and in Titanfall 2, actually, the opening sequence is actually made by these like fans up in Toronto that did such good work that they're like, oh, like, let's these play fight effects guys, and they actually said like, let's. I think they did some of the video game high school stuff, and they're just like, let's get these guys to do stuff in the game because the fan films are so good now. Kyle, you've been quiet over there. What does the bossman think of these?
He's not
live
going to
action
say
trailers?
anything because he doesn't want to lose his fan favorite.
Yeah, we need to hear from the fan favorite himself.
I don't want to ruffle the feathers of my fan base. I think that totally live action trailers can work. I think that you can use them if it's a situation where your game couldn't communicate that thing.
Yeah.
Like if you're going for like comedy, like one of my favorites is the Destiny ones from 2 years ago, where it'd be just real life people having a fun time within Destiny and just like being themselves and telling jokes as friends do when they play games. That wouldn't have worked as well with gameplay. Like there's some things to communicate. These 3 trailers we just watched are real bad. They're all dumb and they don't communicate anything.
They're real bad.
They couldn't have without gameplay.
I will toss in the argument that one that did stick out to me that I did really enjoy, although I can't remember if it was considered. I don't think it was really a trailer so much as a like live action series they were trying to do to reinforce the title that was coming out. Was the Alan Wake one? Do you remember that old Machinima series that they did?
Yeah,
that I thought was actually really well done.
And so, like, I mean, and then, you know, Quantum Break had live action can be used in the right way, but I think you're right. Some of these things, look, they're to appeal to this kind of broad mainstream audience.
Who does that? Who's like, oh, cool, there's real actors. I got to get that game. I don't know.
You know,
Who is
but
that
I can
audience?
see parents maybe sitting at home and their kid wants a game and they're like, what's this Dishonored 2 thing or whatever, and then they turn it on and they're like, oh, okay.
Right, or it helps convey the fantasy that you can expect, and especially for games where the graphics might not be up to snuff. I think a good example of this is for MOBA games. Like League of Legends, I think is a fantastic example where a lot of their CGI, created cinematic trailers are fantastic, with like the epic graphics and seeing the like powers that you use in the game kind of fully realized in this computer-generated environment is really compelling.
And let's say with like Blizzard stuff, like they do incredible cinematics.
Right, but for the nature of those sorts of games, MOBA, strategy game, etc., that's just not the graphical style of those games. And so I think those do a good job of kind of conveying the imagination and kind of the mindset that those sorts of games can put you in, but might not necessarily be reflected by the gameplay. So in those instances, yes, I can see the value of those, but for a typical game like this where it's like a first-person shooter or, a game like Titanfall or whatever, those I want to see the actual graphical fidelity.
Yes, I agree. All right, moving on to our second topic related to Nintendo Switch. Of course, last Thursday, we had the announcement of the Nintendo Switch with that video that I think's been viewed like over 18 million times on YouTube the last time I looked. So everyone's been watching it, and everyone's been buzzing about it. Now, some new details are starting to come to light about the Switch. Lots of speculation. They announced January 12th, 2017. The price and the launch date will be revealed live in Tokyo at an event. So Nintendo is kind of rolling all out. But let's talk about some of the kind of news coming out this week. Kyle, I'll start with you. There's rumors now, obviously, that it is a touchscreen, even though they didn't show that. I saw a patent that was filed that suggested maybe even like this controller might like have a little projector in it that would like project things on your hand, and you would be able to interact with those. Are you getting more or less hyped about the Switch 7 days later?
7 days later, I am equally hyped.
Okay.
I don't necessarily buy into the patents. I've seen a lot of Nintendo patents over the ages for lots of things that have never come to fruition.
Nintendo patents to the
I do. I'm crazy about them, absolutely. Yeah, most of them don't become a thing. But I do believe some of them. I believe the rumors of the 3-hour battery life. Yeah, that's probably true.
Does that bum you out?
Not me personally. I mean, a little bit. If ever I'll probably be on my couch and then I'll just like plug it in over here. Do you know what I mean? I'm okay with 3 hours. It's obviously not good.
Yeah. So, but you're equally hyped.
I'm maybe more hyped.
More hyped.
More
Okay.
hyped.
It's like a little seed that can grow in my heart. I think that's what's going on right now.
MatPat, what's your take? We, announced last week you weren't on the panel. We were going to be having this debate about should Nintendo keep making consoles or not. I don't know which side you'll be on. We're about to find out.
Yeah.
But what's your take on Switch? Do you think that are you hyped? Like this is going to change your life?
I mean, it's going to change my life. I don't know. I will say this.
Kyle's nodding.
I am always excited by anything that Nintendo does because I grew up with Nintendo. To me, Nintendo is the purest distillation of what gaming means, right? They're always trying to innovate. They're always trying to come out with new ideas. This is me arguing against myself for my Deadlock debate in a couple minutes here because I got the other side of the argument.
Okay.
But, I'm always excited by what they're doing to try and push the industry forward. That being said, though, a lot of times it comes to bite them in the butt.
Yeah.
And a lot of the adherence to cartridges back in the N64 days, was something that was really kind of put them behind. But then also with the Switch, the thing that I'm worried about is it's trying to strike this balance of being a console and a portable, which I think is a great idea because that really jives with how people play these days. But it seems like it's almost too big to be a portable, and hearing things about the 3-hour battery life, that seems kind of unintuitive if you are looking for kind of that play-on-the-go experience. Yeah. So I just really I have a lot of questions about it, and I'm excited to get my hands on it and start playing around with it. But anything that Nintendo does, I'm just excited to see because in an industry that is very risk-averse right now, they're the ones who are willing to kind of put their money where their mouth is and put it on the line and say, hey, we're going to break the norm and try to do something different, whether it pays off or not.
Absolutely. Jessica, what's your take on all things Switch?
I'm really excited for it. I'm probably going to be an early adopter of it. For me, it is, from what I've seen so far, it's kind of breathing fresh life into Nintendo consoles that I just didn't really... I mean, the Wii was fine, but I kind of just gathered dust, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna, Wii U was fine, but then I didn't. This one I'm actually excited about, and I think that's because I do travel a lot, and I do think Nintendo has done mobile gaming as far as their 3DS and the DS line and everything, just so ever, even since the Game Boy, so perfectly, and they've got it so cornered so well that the combination of the two, I can't imagine not working for them. I'm glad that the innovation that they're trying to push is something that they're relatively familiar with in just different sections of their company, rather than, hey, we're going to come up with a whole unique, entirely new way to try and get you to play games. I'd rather just give me a whole unique, entirely new way to how to play games to fit my lifestyle. And so for that, this is perfect. Plus, I love the fact that they're aiming more towards for lack of a better phrase, I don't even want to say it, but like a bigger gamer market rather than like a kids market. I don't want to say hardcore gamer because I hate that phrase and it doesn't apply anymore. But just the
whole direction we talked about that last week. That I think that the trailer and everything, like it was geared towards kind of like 20-something people. They were playing NBA. They were playing what looked like Skyrim.
Yeah.
It was.
That burned my ass, though. What? That Skyrim thing? Yeah. Oh, are you kidding me? I was so stoked. And then later on, Bethesda drops the fact that, no, we were just showing off the capability. What? Okay,
sure
you two, we got trolled a little bit. We got trolled.
I'm sure that's going to come out, though, right?
I'm not saying they weren't right to do it because obviously you want to get as much hype as possible and show off what it can do. I get that. But come on, Skyrim's gonna drop next week.
See,
you
hype is killing video games, Jeff. We talked about this 2 weeks ago on Deadlock.
And Nintendo's hyping too.
I'm still all aboard for it. I'm still stoked. Whatever Bethesda relationship has with Nintendo, super excited for it. Whether we get Skyrim or not, that said, I feel a little trolled.
Okay, well, we'll find out on January the 12th, I guess.
Triggered.
Whether
we're a little
right
pissed.
or not.
Got a little pissed.
All right, moving on to our next Let's News topic. We're going to talk a little bit about Halloween. We have this fantastic Live with YouTube Gaming pumpkin, so we want to talk about horror-themed games.
All because of this pumpkin,
I'm just
right there.
I saw the crow, the pumpkin, I'm like, we got to talk about horror-themed games. So let's kick off with a conversation with a poll for you guys. All of you watching online around the world, go to primetimevoting.com right now. We want to know what type of Halloween or horror game genre is your favorite. You can vote now amongst those three categories. And let's talk about some of our favorite Halloween horror games. Kyle Bossman, how do you like to scare yourself?
I do not.
And nice little wristband there, too.
Yeah, this means I work here.
Okay, exactly.
I should take that off. Oh well.
I thought it meant like you were of age to get like an alcoholic beverage or something.
I'm good. I'm over 18. So, Jeff, I gotta be honest. I hate scary games. I hate scary movies. I hate scary people.
Yes.
I only like this. I like Costume Quest. This is my Halloween game right here.
That's adorable.
It's about the joy of
You
Halloween.
remind me a lot of the kids in Costume Quest.
Yes, I mean, I know you're doing a mean joke, but it's fun to dress up in a costume. It's fun to like play the fantasy and go trick or treating. That game's all about that. I love that. that
Playing
aspect of
fantasy is
Halloween.
the best.
It
Yeah.
is. Costume Quest is a very fun game. MatPat, is there any classic for you?
I mean, obviously, you see the FNAF franchise appearing on the board right there, which is kind of near and dear to
That's
my
your
heart at this
staple.
point. It's my go-to.
Yes.
But if I were to actually go back and say, like, hey, these are the games that I really love every Halloween, the Castlevania series, always, like, I've played literally every game in that franchise. I've beaten every game. I love that game. And then also, one of your personal favorites, I think, is Eternal Dark.
Yes.
I think that game is fantastic because it's different. It's not jump scare horror.
Yep.
It's all this psychological.
No, when I played that game on GameCube, I was just blown away, and like the things it did, where you were playing, and all of a sudden you thought your controller was disconnected, and it wasn't. It's like and Kojima has played with that idea too, but sort of breaking the fourth wall, freaking you out. And you're right, it's not straight ahead like Saw horror, but it's just psychological thriller. And
it uses the medium of being a video game to its advantage, right? So like you're getting the blue screen of death, your controller starts to wig out, you start to see the screen starts to glitch.
Like I remember still playing, and you're like, it's
Absolutely.
like something is wrong with my controller, and you get so upset, and you're like,
corrupt
oh,
a memory card too? Like, pretend your memory card is
Yeah,
corrupted?
absolutely.
Your save
That's
file.
the scariest thing
Yeah,
of
yeah.
all. That's so
Right.
scary.
Like save file corrupt,
amazing.
and you say your save file is corrupt
Yes.
after you spent 15 hours.
Right.
I mean, it's just like when your computer crashes, and you're like, oh, I just lost all this. I was like, yeah, you really did. But imagine like Adobe Premiere is like, oh, just kidding. It's like you'd be like, oh,
Right, it's like, oh my god. Especially like that was on the GameCube, and it's like, oh my gosh, my save file of Super Mario Sunshine's gone.
Yep. Yeah, that was I wish more people would do that. Jessica, what about you?
It's been
It
weeks.
drove me nuts.
Collecting those effing blue coins. There's so many blue coins in that game.
That was such a good game. Chobot, what about you?
Silent Hill 2 is probably my favorite, mostly because, like you guys were kind of saying with your choice, the psychological horror. I prefer psychological horror games versus like blood and guts, kind of Saw stuff.
Right.
And I just loved it. I loved that world. I was super excited when PT dropped and everybody got to play the demo, and then super heartbroken when I heard that it was no longer going to
Do you
happen.
still have PT on your PS4?
I do.
Yeah. It's worth a lot of money.
Yeah, I know.
On eBay, I think like PS4s with PT go for like big money.
Really?
Yeah, because
I
you can't
know.
download it anymore. And like, there's some people will sell a PS4 with a PT because that's the only way to get it is sort of pre-installed on a PS4. And you look on eBay right now, it's pretty premium.
I'm still in that collector's mentality though, where when I turn it on, I like to see it there and know that I've got all the cookies kind of thing. Like it's all mine.
It's all
But so I haven't gotten ready to sell it yet. But I say that sometimes. I say all the time that I'm going to sell all my stuff, and then I actually still have that PSP from years ago. So I keep all of my gaming swag.
Of course, it's going to be in the
course.
Chobot Museum one day.
Yeah, right? The museum dedicated to myself in some creepy man's basement. Yes, that will be my legacy.
With all your consoles.
Yes, and pictures of my feet.
This was Jessica's PSP back in the
This was
day.
her PT copy.
Fab.
Smell it.
See, this is perfect Halloween horror
Yeah,
right here.
it's
All right.
That is pretty terrifying.
All right, well, a little later, we're going to play a little Undead Nightmare from Red Dead Redemption to help us get in the Halloween mood. Make sure you stick around for that. We're going to have crazy music. We're going to have ghosts. We're going to have pumpkins. We may even have a little candy. You never know. We'll have to stay tuned to
I
find
like
out.
candy.
Absolutely.
Why do we have candy on the Let's News segment, Jeff?
I know. We should have had a bowl of candy, right?
We absolutely should have candy.
Missed
I
opportunity
have to
here.
apologize. Kyle, could you make
I'm
sure we have a
off.
little candy?
Screw
We
this
don't
show,
have
man.
candy. We don't have
done.
ghosts or crazy. We have none of those things. Jeff is
We have a
promising.
Freddy Krueger glove, and we have a hand and a pot and a magic book. Maybe the candy's like hidden in here. Or something.
Candy. There's got
No candy.
disappointing.
Fine. I get it. All right, well, let's move on and talk about our favorite YouTube creator we're putting a spotlight on every week. We like to find someone who's unknown out there and expose them to you guys. This is Insane in the Rain Music. He's young, very talented, and he's a musician named Carlos. And Carlos does jazz covers of famous video game themes and songs crossing all of the consoles. He plays piano, drums, and saxophone, puts this all together into YouTube videos, and he encourages other creators to use his music in their own projects. It's a bit of a collab. He's been doing this for over 4 years and uploads every Saturday morning to his channel. And here is Insane in the Rain music covering a song from Undertale. Have a listen to the sweet sounds of Insane in the Rain.
Wow.
This is good.
It's chill.
Yeah.
It's like the best dentist music ever.
Does that,
Right?
doesn't that feel good?
It feels
Does.
good.
I do. I feel soothed.
Right?
Exactly.
Chill.
Yeah.
Very chill.
He's really talented. And
I feel like now we can forgive you for the lack of candy.
I mean, let's not
we're
get
going to work
crazy.
on that, MatPat. This is a live show, and we have like 40 minutes left. So stay tuned. If you stick around, you might get a piece of candy.
I can only hope.
All right, stay tuned. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us, Kyle, Matt, and Jessica. We've got much more coming up. MatPat's Deadlock debate is minutes away. You can see more of Jessica on Nerdist News. You can catch MatPat right here on YouTube Gaming's Prime Time, Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. All right, still to come, we've got a live Let's Play of Halo Wars 2 with Dan Ayub from 343. MatPat returns for our second live Deadlock debate. We've got a look at a brand new video from iHas Cupquake, and later I'll give you my take on when games fail to evolve. Remember to open up a tab and go to primetimevoting.com. We've got quizzes, votes, and more updates going on there throughout the night. All right, it may be October, but Christmas is right around the corner, and the world's most creative zombie killer, Frank West, is returning to Willamette, Colorado for the holidays. Here's an exclusive look at a brand new Halloween-inspired trailer for Dead Rising 4 on Xbox One and PC.
This'll do. Oh yeah! Dave Frosty! Take that!
Dead Rising 4 coming in December. All right, and best news of all, guys, by the way, is that we finally have some candy. Anybody want some candy? Right here. Candy for our fabulous audience. There you go. Happy Halloween, everybody. All right, now we'll get on to our interview. They're entertained, and now we got some great gameplay for them. Moving on from zombies to soldiers, let's take a little Halo Wars 2 look. It's completely reworked and a follow-up to the Halo Wars real-time strategy game that came out back in 2009. And joining me now, the studio head of strategy game development at 343 and a fellow Canuck, by the way. I am Canadian. He is too. Dan Ayub.
Good to see you, man.
Great to have you with us.
How you doing?
Halo Wars 2 coming in February.
Yep.
And we're not too Halloween themed. We're moving to the world of from Halloween to Halo. But let's talk a bit about Halo Wars 2. I know you've got some live code here, and we're going to play a little Blitz, right?
We are, yeah. So Blitz is a brand new mode. We just released it. Really the genesis behind it was, I played RTS most of my life. I love the genre. But we realized throughout development it can be intimidating for some people. So, we sat down and looked at it, and, we've got the classic modes, deathmatch, all of that good stuff. But we started to think about what would a mode be if you took out base building, if you took out resource collection, all of that. And we just kind of fell onto this card metaphor. So basically with Blitz, rather than building a base and worrying about resources, you build a deck of 12 cards that you just take into a match with you.
Okay.
And if you've got the card, you can field the unit. And it's really just about building that perfect deck and really going for more fast-paced games. But what we've got today is a nice little Halo homage, if you will. It's a Blitz firefight mode.
Okay.
So if you're familiar with firefight, you're trying to hold off those waves of enemies. And we made a Blitz version of it.
All right.
Do you want to check it out?
Yeah, let's check it out. I have to eat my candy.
All right,
while
yeah.
you're in there.
I loaded up, so I'm good.
You're hearing my candy wrapper apparently at home, so I'm just going to have my Snickers.
All right, so I am going to try to talk and play, so I can barely walk and chew gum at the same time, so bear with me. So for example, here, you got my starting army. I'm just going to drop a Warthog, and there it is, right? You drop the... you hit the card, it drops right into the action. And I'm just going to move him over here. So you can see this is wave-based. So, if you've got the countdown for the wave, it's kind of showing I'm at level 0. Right, oh God, this is going to be bad. So we have continued. No, all right, we're good. I thought I was still at heroic. And yeah, if it's in your hand, you can drop it. So let's just drop a Scorpion tank in for this guy. And it's actually, it feels really, really a lot of fun. Just being able to drop a tank in at a click. You've got to collect energy. Generally, you'll try to do that between waves. You can see that little cursor that they're just running by. There's a drop there. So I'm going to run out and get some... Oh, they're actually grabbing my energy. So let's... and it's too late. They grabbed my energy. All right, so we're off to a good start. So you effectively, in this mode, you want to hold zones. So they're going to try to... You can see I've got 2 of the zones. I'm going to want to hold those, and as they start to move in, it's going to get more and more challenging. This is an early one. You can see I'm at easy right now, so wave 1 is complete. As we go through, it's going to get trickier. But the fundamental notion is if you've got the card, you can put the unit out on the battlefield, and all you've really got to do is worry about managing your energy. Right. So right now, the second wave's coming. You can see they drop... It's flying in my face. They dropped another energy block, so I'm going to run out and grab that and see if I can get some, and that's going to allow me to drop some more cards. So you're going to have multiple leaders, too. So this is just a pre-made deck. I'm playing as Cutter, but you can build multiple decks. They have multiple abilities. The cards, they're common cards that everybody can use, but there's also going to be cards that only specific leaders can do. Okay. And, I'm playing a single mode right now alone, but, we're going to support up to 3v3 on this, so that's actually a great deal of fun.
And it seems very, pick up and play, which is nice, especially for the console audience, that you sort of can just jump right in there and get going.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of fun. Do you want to give it a shot, or do you just want to?
Sure.
All right, so effectively, you're going to hit the trigger to bring it up, cycle through, and you're just going to hit A to field your unit. So all right. I'll just pass it off to you.
All right, so here we go. We got our next wave here.
So our next wave's getting ready to come.
Maybe
you want to drop
what I'm picking, but...
so that's a Nightingale. That's a healer unit. That's going to heal your guys up. It's also good for detection. Okay. So you don't have enough for that yet. You can. I know the screen's a little far.
Mac Blast.
And you got a Wolverine there, which is a good anti-air.
All right. So
there you go. So they're starting to come in. Your units will automatically attack and defend their own areas.
Zoom out and in here.
Yeah, you can come in and out. You can see what's going on right now is it looks like they're massing around A, so they're getting ready to come in there. But yeah, they got a pretty decent.
Oh my God, that's a big army. I'm a little concerned.
So you got a few options. You can wait for them to come. You can maybe move a quick unit in and try and drop a Mac Blast on them. That'll do a ton of damage. So you can only drop in line of sight. Okay. So you can see them, but there you can see that clear area around you. There you go.
All right, so get these guys moving here.
So you can select them all with the top bumper on the right. There you go. Cool. And you can just move them on over to A.
Energy drop.
Move them.
So, select them all, move to where you want them to go, and then just hit X.
Units.
Okay.
Excuse me, coming through.
Here we go. All right. Now run.
So when they get in, you might want to get that Mac Blast ready to go. So left trigger will bring up the card, select the Mac Blast. Yep. Hit A.
Zone B lost.
Oh God, hurry up. Hit the left trigger. Left trigger, select Mac Blast. A. Yep, you switch out. A. It's too late.
Oh my God.
There is some twitch to it. So what you can do, you've still got C. If you want to go back there, you can start dropping more units.
All right, let's go back to point C.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, the screen's a little far.
I'm gonna say, I think is this C up here?
There you go.
All
so you
right.
can see your guys are still there. You're still in the game.
All right, get my boys.
So yeah, the notion for this was it's just, we've been really happy with the mode. If you're an RTS player, you're going to see a lot of depth and repetitive ability. I'd drop a few more guys in there before you go after them. So let's try and drop some guys before we move you into combat. So select what you want. There you go, just hit A. And boom, there it is,
Nice.
right there. And they'll immediately start healing your guys. Got some anti-air with you. Yeah, maybe drop some Marines. There, you got a good little force going.
Hornet. I'm going all out.
Yeah, you now no longer have enough energy for a Mac Blast, though.
It's all right.
So you.
It's all one. All right, got all my boys. Look at this crew. Oh yeah, I'm ready.
All right, so they're starting to move in on you. So click on that X on those guys to attack them. Your units will automatically attack, but
Yeah,
you
now
can
we're
focus
forced to
on.
be reckoned with.
So we pick up and plays pretty quick within a couple of minutes, as you can see, right? You pretty much got them, and you've got fewer units to worry about as well. So if you're new to RTS, this is a good kind of gateway for you.
Kill. Way clear.
Nice. So you got through it. So I would actually move back to your zone because you want to hold it. So this is a domination style mode. So you want to make sure you're holding modes.
Okay. So I'm back here.
Yeah, your guys will move there
Next
and you'll see
wave,
it'll change color.
7 seconds.
So what you'll probably want to do at this point is move a unit out to start collecting energy. You can see you've got 3 energy down there right now. So if you just kind of click X on a unit, I'm sorry, A on a unit, you can select one. Why don't you select the Warthog, because that's pretty quick. And then just move to one of the energy points down near the bottom there.
Okay.
Oh, actually, there's one right above you. So
yeah.
if you go up over there, click X on that, he'll run out and grab it. So he'll destroy that canister, and then when the canister opens, you've got the energy. So a lot of the fun of this is just that deck creation. So we've got a pre-built deck for you for the sake of time, but you can spend a tremendous amount of time building your deck for and if you move up, he'll grab the energy. So just click X, and there you go. He'll grab it, and now you'll see.
Now I get my Mac Blast.
You got your Mac Blast is ready if you want to use it.
Back. Hell yeah.
And what we see a lot of cool things is, this will support up to 3v3. So if you and I are playing together, we're going to want to work together to figure out what the best deck is. Are you going to take all air? Am I going to take all ground? You can really start to pull those strategies. So right now you're ticking up because the enemy's holding 2 of 3 territories. So you are getting close-ish to defeat at this point. So you're probably going to want to move in and take one of the areas.
All right, I'm gonna strengthen up a little bit here.
Yeah, Cyclops, a nice anti-air unit, and
I might as well just go all
yeah,
in,
may as
right?
well just get everything you
Go
got.
loud.
So again, you can hit that top right. That'll select all your guys and move them in.
Oh,
and they're coming for
They're
you
coming for
anyway.
me.
This
Not
could
on
be
my
the
watch.
last hurrah.
Not on my watch, Danayub.
There you go. So you got a good mix of units now. You got some heavy
Decimate
land.
them.
They're coming in, but they are ticking up. So this is, as you can see, well, or maybe
It's a
not.
fool's
so
errand?
You're 98%. So yeah, you're almost, yeah, and there you go.
Tend to the
What?
wounded and regroup stronger than ever.
Again, you're going to want to hold at least 2 units to keep yourself from ticking up. But we've been really pleased with the feedback on it. It's a really quick mode. You can
I
just
just-
hop in and go. Yeah, you caught on to it really,
Or
really
like,
quickly.
I've not even played it before. It's just sort of, it's very like, RTS light, but it's something like on the consoles. The people, when you're sitting on a couch, you just want to be able to sort of pick up and play fun.
Yep, yeah, it's a lot of fun. You can get through a game really fast. So we're going to be showing people more of this. So we've started showing this mode at shows and things like that. And early in the new year, we're going to have a Blitz beta on console and PC, so everybody can hop in and check it out.
Awesome. All right. Well, Halo Wars 2, we will check it out February 21st. 21st.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks very much for stopping by, Dan.
My
I look
pleasure.
forward
Good
to
to see you,
seeing
man.
more on the game soon. And now Clash Royale is a hugely popular mobile game that me and a bunch of my friends were addicted to. It came out earlier this year from Supercell. It's fun, and what I love about it are quick, short battles. It's like 3-4 minutes most of the time. You just jump right in, have fun, and to celebrate Clash Royale, YouTube Gaming is hosting an open entry tournament, the Clash Royale Kings Cup. It takes place right here in Los Angeles on November 6th, and for more information, you can go to kingscuptournament.com, and the competition is open to players 18 years and older. You can sign up at that website right now and face off potentially against some of the best Clash Royale players in the world. Here's a look at the rules of the duel in Clash Royale.
These are the rules of the duel. All duels must have appropriately epic music.
Clash Royale! Bigger fights with everyone!
That was a rule of the duel, a most ridiculous duel. Clash Royale.
The rules of the duel, Clash Royale. Make sure to check out the King's Cup on November 6th live on YouTube. All right, it's election season, and there are a lot of important issues to discuss, and none more important than what is happening in the wide world of gaming. MatPat and Maddox are here to help us decide, should Nintendo stop making consoles? I'm sure Reggie is sitting in his office in Redmond right now, eagerly anticipating what they should do, and this debate may decide the future of the Nintendo Switch. And we have our very own Kyle Bossman to moderate and make sure the action stays civil. This is the Deadlock Debate.
And welcome to the second installment of the Deadlock Debate on Live with YouTube Gaming. I'm Kyle Bossman, and I'll be your moderator this evening. Matt, welcome, and tell us how a Deadlock Debate works, please.
Absolutely, I can do that. So a popular segment that we have here on the Game Theorist channel is Deadlock. Not here, this is actually the Game Slice, YouTube, Primetime, Strange
Game
Nebulous
Theorist is
World.
over there.
It's over on the other part of YouTube's. But over on my channel, the Game Theorists, we have this segment called Deadlock. It's basically a debate series where we discuss a pertinent gaming topic, right? So, for example, which console is the best?
The PlayStation 1.
Wow.
Saturn, Sega Saturn. Yeah. Yes.
Really? Okay.
Wrong.
We could argue about that. So anyway, today's topic is, should Nintendo stop making consoles? We're all excited about the Switch, but should it come out? Should they just scrap it? Well, we'll see how it falls out after this debate. I am arguing that Nintendo should cut it out. Nope, no more consoles. It's all decided by a random coin flip, so no hate on me, no hate on Maddox. We just got to debate what the side that we're given, all right? So my opponent, as I've mentioned, is Maddox from the best show in the universe. That's self-proclaimed.
Yes. No, Google it. It's there.
And he is here to argue that Nintendo should continue making their consoles. Maddox,
That's right.
What do you have to say prior to the debate?
Yeah, prior to the debate, get ready to lose, buddy. That's what I got to say.
That's good enough, sure.
Yeah.
A little strong.
Get ready to lose, buddy.
That's it. So here are the rules. So we each get 30 seconds to present our opening statements to you, the viewers at home. Then we move on to the argument round, where we each get to present our arguments is going to be about 90 seconds per person. However, after each of those argument rounds, the other person gets a 30-second rebuttal. And finally, we get our closing statements. Each round is 30 seconds there. All right? So when you hear this sound, is that the same sound we had last time?
It is, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, exactly the same sound. Beep-a-dee-dee-beep.
Couldn't like spice it up or like surprise us with something that's thematic to Nintendo or anything?
No, what's funny is with that sound effect, I said, how about something positive? Because the buzzer's always like, and I don't want to hear that at the end of an argument. So it's like, beep-a-dee-dee-beep.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. Positivity. Okay, I like that. I appreciate it. So anyway, once you hear that sound, you have to complete your thought, or Kyle, Mr. Moderator over here, is going to shoot you a judgmental stare.
Which I'll do throughout the entire debate anyway. But the best part is you, the viewers at home, will get to decide the winner of this debate. Go to primetimevoting.com right now to get ready to vote for your favorite debater to victory. You can cast your vote at any time during the debate, and you can also change your mind at any point. If someone is swaying you over, change your vote, and then we'll see the little meters go blah, 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 blah. It's very fun to watch live. Gentlemen, are you ready?
I am ready.
Yes, sir.
Alex, you ready?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay, let us begin our Deadlock debate. Matt, you'll go first with your opening statements. Again, Matt is debating against the Nintendo's legacy of consoles that has to end. Your opening statement is going to be 30 seconds long. Please take the stage. Your time begins now.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in studio and watching the Gaming Spectacular with Jeff Keighley live on YouTube Primetime, Nintendo needs to stop making consoles, and here's why. I love a Nintendo console, don't get me wrong, but you know what I love more than a Nintendo console? Nintendo games. Mario, Zelda, all of those franchises. And if they continue making consoles that fail, like the Wii U, and don't produce sales, those games and Nintendo and what it brings to this great industry goes away as we know it. Let's talk about that. 90 seconds coming up.
I gave you like a 5-second cushion there.
You did. I appreciate that.
That was good. No, you wrapped it up. That was great. Maddox, are you ready for your opening statement?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, please take the stage. We're giving you 30 seconds.
Oh, yes, thank you. All right.
You got an owl rooting you on.
I'm going to ask the audience to not do any owl noises, please. Okay.
I would strike that, but I would say...
Wait, hold.
Yeah.
Your timer starts right now.
Okay, Jesus. All right, so guys, we need Nintendo to keep making consoles because look at the trend in gaming. You pull out your cell phone, you want to play a game, oh, sorry, you got to buy a thing for $1. Oh, you got to buy another thing for $1. And soon, you're out of dollars. And no more video games. Nintendo is synonymous with couch co-op. Where are you ever going to have that experience again, sitting down with your pals on the couch, playing Mario Kart? That experience comes from Nintendo and the Nintendo generation of consoles.
Wow.
Happening in the arguments early.
Yeah, two strong opening statements. MatPat, you were now going to get 90 seconds for all of your arguments, all of the points you have to make tonight in a minute and a half. Do you have that prepared? Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, we're putting 90 seconds on the clock. Please rise to the stage. Your time begins now.
All right, so Nintendo brings something that's much needed to video games, and that is innovation. However, the rest of the video game industry is scared of innovation, and a lot of time that innovation takes the wrong step. Case in point, asymmetric gaming with the Wii U. A lot of game developers didn't know what to do with it. A lot of gamers didn't know what to do with it, and as a result, the Wii U didn't sell. It is a critical time for Nintendo right now. Each time they want to create something that has this unique, innovative twist, but the rest of the gaming community doesn't know what to do with it. As a result, it is hard for third parties to support Nintendo products. You create this vicious cycle, and I talked about this last time with the hype debate, but a vicious cycle here where lack of third-party support means less consoles being sold, means less sales overall for Nintendo, which means they're not going to be able to produce more quality games that you love. So sure, Nintendo is able to maximize their innovative consoles. They're able to understand what they're going for when it comes to asymmetric gaming. But if I want a console that has a robust library, because at the end of the day, that's what I'm buying a console for, is the games, right? And if a console doesn't have games to support it or only has Super Smash Bros. And Mario, I can't go out and support that system. The third parties don't support it, and as a result, the sales don't happen. As a result, Nintendo's stock starts to tumble. Case in point, Sega. When Sega was tumbling with the Dreamcast and no one wanted to hop on board the Dreamcast train, they stopped producing consoles and only produced software. The year that they did that, they actually made a profit. There you go.
Wow. Now, some really interesting things happened during that 90 seconds. We were tied, essentially, after your opening statements. Ooh. MatPat, you just destroyed. You gained, I think, a 61% by the end of your opening statement. Now, Maddox, it is now your responsibility within the 30 rebuttal seconds to tear down each of those arguments. Can you do that?
You bet.
Please take the stage.
Yeah.
Wait, I got 30 seconds on the clock?
All right.
Your time begins now.
All right, guys, let me sum up MatPat's argument that last round, all right? Don't try new things. All right, that's all I heard, because Nintendo's an innovator. Yeah, the Virtual Boy failed, okay? We all know that. But had they stopped making consoles after the Virtual Boy, you wouldn't have had the GameCube or the Nintendo 64 or the Wii with all the innovation that came with. And by the way, you guys like virtual gaming? You guys like where the direction of augmented reality is going? You have Nintendo to thank for that, because if they didn't take the bold step to make the Wiimote an integral part of gaming, we wouldn't have had anything new today.
I want to rebut that rebuttal.
You'll get your chance to rebut that rebuttal.
We'll get there.
Maddox, I'm sorry, you have to stand right back up, because now it's time for your minute and a half of your arguments of why Nintendo should keep making consoles.
You got it.
Your time begins right now.
Guys, come on. All right, that's my first argument. Yeah. Second argument is, guys, video games are like a sandwich, right? Everyone likes a sandwich. You go out, you get a nice sandwich, you eat it. And to make that sandwich, you gotta harvest the crops. You gotta pick the lettuce and the tomatoes and go out and slaughter a ham. Yeah. But when you do all that stuff, you have to replenish those ingredients. You have to plant new seeds, right? And that's what Nintendo is doing with their consoles. They are planting new seeds to create the gamers of tomorrow. We need that. We need that. We forget. We get too lazy, too self-absorbed. We want to just play games that are made for us, the 30-plus-year-olds, who are still kind of figuring out life and not necessarily married and struggling with a lot of issues. That's why we need Nintendo, guys. We need Nintendo to make the next generation of broken players.
Oh no, what's going on?
Nobody is doing that anymore. Nobody's making consoles to bring in the new generation of players. And you know what else I like? I like games that are finished. I don't like to constantly download things all the time. I miss the days when I used to be able to put a cartridge in and know that that game is baked. Flaws and all, because we wouldn't have speedruns that take advantage of glitches that are so much fun to watch if every time that they found a glitch, they fixed it with some update. Oh, which version are you playing? 1.4? Boring.
Wow.
That's good.
MatPat,
Slaughter that ham.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Maddox gained a lot of ground in our
did.
voting throughout that entire argument. And now it is up to you, with your rebuttal, to somehow penetrate the bulletproof sandwich argument. Are you prepared?
I believe so.
We're putting 30 seconds on the clock. Your time begins now.
Maddox says that my argument is to not try new things and to have Nintendo stop being innovative. That's not the case. I'm saying that they can be innovative in their software and be more profitable by doing it. They can be more sustainable as a company and continue to be innovative for many years to come by doing innovative games on other consoles. He brought up the augmented reality stuff. It's worth noting that augmented reality that came with Pokemon Go was on a mobile device. A mobile device, not a system that Nintendo created.
And that is your time. Wow.
All right.
Now, before our closing arguments, I just want to remind our audience once again, you don't have to commit to your vote. You can change your vote at any time. If someone has swayed you, there's still moments that you can still be swayed by these closing arguments. Maddox, your closing argument will be first.
Okay.
Do you feel ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
To end your debates?
Yeah.
Please take the stage.
All right.
Your time begins right now.
Okay, wow. So Nintendo's guilty of not inventing cell phones, all right? The 3DS, when it first came out with the cameras, they did have this game where you kind of like, it was augmented reality, essentially. You're pointing it around. I remember I was in my bathroom, and I was looking for critters. Critters in my bathroom, non-living ones, for once. There was, yeah, so Nintendo does innovate, and Nintendo makes games like Cooking Mama, okay? Those are experiences that you have on the, Cooking Mama,
That is your
guys.
time.
Won that.
Cooking Mama.
I'm sorry, I'm just getting this in from our fact checkers. Nintendo does not make Cooking Mama.
That is that.
That's not Nintendo. They don't publish that.
It's on the console. Oh.
It's on the console. Sure, it's on a DS and a Wii, but no, they don't make that.
All right, technicality, vote it up anyway.
I always said that debates, like presidential or otherwise, should have shock collars. So, I mean, how awesome would that be? Whenever you say something wrong, like you get shocked, it would be entertaining and it would be more accurate.
Do you want me to just sit here and say wrong
Yes,
if you say
please.
anything incorrect?
If you could.
Okay, well, you're getting 30 seconds on the clock for your closing arguments. Are you prepared?
Yes.
Please take the stage. Your time begins right now.
I love Nintendo. I am one of Nintendo's oldest and most beloved fanboys. But that
Wrong.
fact. But that being said, and as such, I want them to deliver a quality gaming experience for generations of gamers to come, because they're pushing gaming boundaries at a time when no one else is, when everyone else is staying safe by upgrading graphics year after year. They're pushing that gameplay mechanic, and I want them to be able to do that across multiple systems and multiple consoles, where their financial bottom line is not tied to a failure of an innovative Switch-type console. That's what I have to say.
Wow. This concludes our debate. Gentlemen, who do you think won? Just between the two of you.
I think America won.
Right? I think we all won.
When there's a discourse, absolutely.
Yes.
You want to hear both sides.
Yeah, whenever there's a thoughtful, exchange of ideas, I think everyone wins.
Well, between the two of you and between me and all of you, none of that matters. The audience vote matters.
Okay.
And they've decided our winner. It is once again MatPat, reigning champion with 52%. It was so close.
Wow.
It was shockingly close.
Well done, man. Well done.
Maddox, MatPat, thank you for joining us for the debate. We now have to toss it back to Mr. Jeff Keighley. Jeff, who do you think won that debate yourself?
That was very, very close. I liked Matt's arguments, although I want to see Nintendo keep making consoles. So I agree with what he said. I think I sort of feel like Nintendo's kind of split the difference a little bit now that they're doing Super Mario Run for iOS and stuff. Hopefully they will keep doing games for other systems, but, do some cool things for Switch as well. So we'll see. But a great Deadlock debate, and speaking of debates and all those things, all of you watching, we hope if you're in America that you're getting ready to vote in just a couple of weeks. It is so important that you get out and express how you feel about the world by voting. So thanks to MatPat, Kyle, and Maddox, and we've got much more coming up on Live with YouTube Gaming. I'm going to talk to Julian Pastry Time Carr about League of Legends and the Worlds. They'll be live at the Staples Center Saturday here on YouTube. I want to give you guys a preview of that. We're going to have some live gameplay of classic Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare, and I'll share my thoughts on Evolve being put to rest. The developers announced this week that the game is kaput in terms of new development. But right now, we've got a first look at a brand new video from iHas Cupquake. She discovered Overcooked and is taking on her husband, Red. Take a look.
Hey, Live with YouTube Gaming.
Cupquake here.
And I'm Red.
And we are excited to show you guys a husband versus wife Overcooked edition.
Yeah, we're gonna see who's the better cook between us two, the husband or the wife.
Here are the highlights from the video. Who will win the cook-off? All right.
All right, let's see who's the better cook.
Oh, crap. Okay.
Okay, I have a burger to cook.
How am I supposed to? We gotta switch.
Where's my meat?
We gotta switch.
Yeah.
What is, oh shoot, is this gonna move? This is moving.
Oh, it moved.
Oh no! Oh no, that's not good.
Oh my God.
Oh gosh, okay.
This
well,
is actually pretty
shoot.
awesome. This is actually really
no.
awesome. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is unfair. This is unfair. I don't know what I'm doing. There's too many buttons. There's too many buttons.
On the wrong side, dang it.
Okay, we're gonna leave that there.
Oh, dude, you can leave one guy chopping and get another dude.
I know.
What?
I know.
Why wouldn't you tell me this? Come on.
Why would I tell? Oh shoot, I'm on the wrong side again. I'm an idiot. Okay.
Oh, jeez.
What am I doing? I'm just standing here doing nothing.
Grab the tomato, dude, and then grab that cheese. Grab
pizza.
that cheese. Oh, grab
pizza.
the sausage.
Okay, plates are ready. Plates are ready. I'm just gonna set them here. We got a pizza. Pizza
Dang
coming
it.
up. Put it in the oven. Get that meat
God.
cooking. Oh,
shoot.
Okay. And then you are gonna cook the meat.
Oh, Jesus.
And then the other guy's gonna grab a bun.
Okay.
You're gonna grab a bun and another meat, and you're gonna have her cook it.
All right, thank you very much, Tiffany. And you can see the full video from iHas Cupquake and find out who won on her channel this Saturday. That's iHas Cupquake on YouTube. All right, well, 2016, the League of Legends World Championship will be decided this weekend here in Los Angeles at the Staples Center. It's going to be a huge, massive live event, as it always is. It's back in the States this year, which we're excited about. And here to help catch us up on all things Worlds is Julian Pastry Time Carr, one of Riot Games' shoutcasters. Julian, thanks for stopping by on what I'm sure is a very busy week for you guys.
It's actually been a little bit better for me, but yeah, it's very hectic around the office, but it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming by, man. So the Worlds, people will watch this on YouTube on Saturday, and this is the culmination of what's been an amazing year for League, but also you guys have been, you were in New York, Chicago, San Francisco.
Yeah.
For people that may not understand sort of, League and the Worlds and what's about to happen on Saturday, tell us about the lead up. There have been semifinals, and now we have two Korean teams in the final, right?
Yeah, so the World Championships, or the League of Legends World Championships, is basically a big, World Cup for League of Legends, essentially. So 16 teams from around the world, all from different countries and places, from different professional leagues around the world, come to compete over just over a month-long worth of qualifiers. So it's a lot like any other sport, like a World Cup. You have a group stage, we break the teams up, then they play quarters, semifinals, and now the finals that are on Saturday.
Absolutely, and you're going all around the States, which is amazing. Madison Square Garden in New York City last weekend with 15,000 plus people sitting there watching it. So tell us, a little bit of a preview of the Worlds and the experience. Of course, we'll have two teams facing off, but you guys create quite a spectacle around it as well at the Staples Center, right?
Yeah, it's been one of those things where we sort of took the passion for the game originally. There were people that were really wanting to play competitively and pro players that were very keen, and that scene sort of built up for itself. But it wasn't just enough to have high-level games showing, or like commentators like myself commentating the games. Like we wanted to make it more of a spectacle, more of like a show, more of a celebration of League of Legends as a whole. And that's a lot of what events are like. There's cosplayers, there's community events going on. You can collect swag, and it's just a whole experience, and it does feel like a sports game in a lot of ways. But it's kind of a celebration of the community as well.
All right, well, let's get into the teams that will be playing this weekend. Faker, SKT1, this is a big story, obviously, that these guys are going to be playing. Tell us a bit about, tell us about the matchup, obviously. We've got Samsung Galaxy, SKT1. What can you tell us about these teams? Obviously, no American teams in the finals, right?
No, unfortunately. We had one American team make it out of groups in the quarterfinals. But, SK Telecom, we can start there. This is a Korean powerhouse in esports, not just in League of Legends. Two-time world champions looking to make a third world championship title. Faker himself would win 3 along with Bengi, their jungler, who's their substitute. The caliber of play that this man and his team produces is just ridiculous. And time again, Faker, Coach Koma, and Bengi can get together, have new players come in, because other players did leave to play in other regions and play elsewhere and take other opportunities. But it's just amazing. If this guy can win 3 world championships, including 1 back-to-back, because they did win last year as well. Like, that's an unprecedented feat in League of Legends, and really cements them as, I think, the best team of all time.
Best team of all time.
It's
still
kind of
so young.
For. It's just, of course, and that's the exciting thing as well, right? There's so much more of the sport to be played, ideally. And I think kind of having this era where, okay, this is the era where this team dominated. Where is it going to be, 20 years' time potentially, or however long the game lasts? I think this legacy and the start of it, it's been something that's been building up. Now that we're back in Staples Center, now that the game has grown so much since 2013 when they first won their first world championship, there's just so much going on for the sport and for this team.
All right, let's talk a bit about Samsung Galaxy. I remember we did the first Game Awards in 2014. You guys had just had the Worlds, and they had done great, and the team sort of, disbanded in many ways. A lot of the players went a bunch of different directions.
Yeah, so there were 10 players on Samsung. Well, 1 on white, 5 on white, 5 on blue. 2 great teams. One of them, of course, won the final. Touted at the time as the best team to ever play League of Legends, and I think for their time, and maybe even now, they hold up definitely as such a strong team. All 10 players decided to leave. The organization was only able to field 1 team due to a rules change, so the 10 players left to go play in China, actually, where they had very lucrative contracts offered, and this team was rebuilt completely. Kuve, a player who's been impressing all world championships long, had a rough year and a rough start because he was the first new player brought on. Ambition is one of the oldest professional players to still play League of Legends. He used to be a mid laner, he's now swapped to jungle, and he may actually win a world championship despite this being a team that felt like they weren't even going to make it. They had never won a series versus KT and had to beat them in a very dramatic 3-2 series to even make it so far. So this is a team that has a lot of strong players. Crown is this young rookie mid laner that looks maybe poised to challenge Faker in the final. We'll have to see how he plays. But, this is a team that no one really expected to be there, and we just kept saying that week after week after week of Worlds, and they kept winning. They actually haven't lost a game since week 2, which is insane for a team that a lot of people thought maybe didn't even deserve to be at the World Championships, which at this point is clearly untrue now that they're in the final.
So this is going to be quite the final. So tell us, when people tune in Saturday, what are they going to see? How many games? How is it set up on?
So it's a best of 5. That's every match that's played in the knockout stage, so quarterfinals onwards. So ideally we get 5 games. Cross your fingers and hope that we do go the distance. SKT and Rox played a full 5-game series so far that may be considered the best series to be played at Worlds. So perhaps the final can overtake that. But we'll have to see. As far as overall gameplay goes, the teams will swap sides or choose sides based on their seeding in the series. So they'll swap back and forth between blue and red, which does make some differences as far as the drafting goes, and there is a lot of strategy in that pregame as well. But ideally, you'll sit down, it'll be an incredible experience. There's so much more than just the games going on at the finals, both around the event and during the opening and closing ceremonies as well. It's as far as shows that we have done goes, we talked about Spectacle before. This will probably be the biggest one we've ever done back in the Staples Center. So there should be so much to enjoy, and ideally we get 5 great games as well.
Yeah, no, I'm so excited because it's going to be an amazing spectacle on YouTube on Saturday. And I know tomorrow there'll also be some coverage on YouTube because you're doing a really cool sort of fan event around the Staples Center.
Yeah, I talked about a celebration of the community and of League of Legends. That's kind of what tomorrow is in a lot of ways. There's going to be a concert. There'll be a kind of a fun celebrity ARAM, which is one of our more fun or casual game modes we offer as well. There's a lot going on there as far as content. We already saw that, unfortunately, for that as well, but you guys will be able to watch that online as well as the finals as well at Staples.
Fantastic. fantastic. All right, well, it's going to be a big 2 days for League of Legends, and then you guys get a little bit of rest, but then All-Star, I know, is coming up in Barcelona. There's lots happening. So, Julian, thank you so much for stopping by. We will see the whole team live on YouTube at LOL Esports both tomorrow and Saturday, so make sure to tune in. And the final championship is Saturday, October 29th at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and of course live right here on YouTube. All right, well, this week in honor of Halloween, we're going to do some live Let's Play of an old expansion pack that can still make your heart race. It's Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare, some of my favorite DLC, this kind of completely reinvented Red Dead when Rockstar brought it out for sort of Halloween the next year after the first game. So let's go play some Red Dead Redemption. Head on over here. Thanks, Julian. Good to see you, man. Appreciate it. All right. We got Bossman, Chobot, and Maddox. So, Kyle, you've been working all week to put together this challenge that's going to happen. So tell us, what's in the cards here?
Okay, the challenge in the cards is we're just having fun.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, I have some things I got to do. I got to level up. I got to get 10 headshots in a row. That's one thing I have to do before the stream ends. Okay. I'm at 2 right now. I only need 8 more, Jeff. But yeah, generally the idea is let's play a spooky game for Halloween, and this is such a fun spooky game.
Do we all get to turn our chairs at the same time too? Is that what
you want to count us off? Yeah, count us off.
We're all ready?
Which way are we turning? Because I don't want to hit knees. I'll turn this way.
Okay, we'll do counterclockwise. Okay, yeah, absolutely.
That's harder for me because I'm bumping you. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, turn.
Ouch.
All right. Well done. All right. Yeah. First challenge complete.
Yes. Challenge 1.
All right. So I haven't played this in a long time, so you're gonna have to give me the rundown on the controls again.
We're just gonna go kill some zombies.
Okay.
So,
cool.
I don't know. I mean, it's basically GTA 5 controls. You know what I mean? It's
yeah, but I mean, how do you get Deadeye? I can't remember that.
So you're holding down L.
The right, right stick.
And you're clicking the right stick, and then I'm
all right.
Deadeye.
Cool. Got it.
Yep.
All right, Bossman, here we go.
Okay,
it's fun.
so
I haven't played Red Dead in a while. It reminds me of seeing the trailer last week now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
And it still looks.
It looks incredible.
Still looks so good. Yeah.
Yeah, we're playing this on Xbox One, by the way, for everyone at home. That's why it looks kind of incredible right now.
Did they up the graphics when they released it on the Xbox One?
I don't think so. I think it's just upsampled.
Yeah.
It's and isn't it on? I think it's on PlayStation Now too. They released last week, so it's it's such a classic game. And if you guys are watching this and haven't played it, absolutely go right out and
wow,
check
this
it
is really fun.
No, look at the fog. This is spooky. wait. Actually, I
love watching the back of your horse's butt.
There's a blue dot over here. Yeah, here we go. I can kill the zombie, right?
Yeah.
No, that's a man.
He's just a man.
Let's kill him anyway.
Do
it. Do it. Yeah, because it's
Awesome.
Halloween, man. Gotta do it.
Oh, dude, he shot his ear.
There's his woman. Get it. Oh, no,
Okay.
that's a zombie.
Is that a zombie?
That's
oh,
an
so he
actual
was
zombie.
running away from this zombie.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Oh, I missed.
Oh, you missed.
Oh,
no.
boss.
Oh, shit, get me off the horse. Oh, that zombie.
What are you doing?
Zombie
Damn,
woman.
horse.
Okay, I got her.
Stop
Right
panicking.
in the eye. Right
Stop
between the
panicking.
eyes.
Yeah, there.
Yeah, Bossman.
Do they go after your horse? See, I call this
God.
seems
Right between
suspicious
the
to me
eyes.
because
Yeah.
as a zombie, I
look
feel
at that
you would go
headshot.
for the biggest hunk of meat,
Yeah.
and that would be your horse
Eat the
right
horse.
there. Yeah, eat the horse.
But
Bossman
I
is
think they're after
vicious.
brains, though. I don't think it's just like they want to
Horses
eat raw.
have
Horses,
brains?
nope, that is not true. Horses are dumb.
Don't
They're
shoot the
robots.
horse.
It's Westworld.
Come on.
All right.
Yeah.
So I killed the running.
Oh,
my
behind
God.
you.
Okay, I got him. Oh, we got a couple.
Get it. Yeah, nice. Oh.
Maddox,
So
what's your
satisfying.
favorite scary game? We talked about ours during Let's News.
Oh man, I got a couple. So I really like. Well, does I don't know if this counts, but does Bloodborne count? Is that a
Yeah,
that's a
I
scary
think
game?
that counts.
That's
yeah,
a way
absolutely.
scary game.
Yeah, that's a
scary
it's a
game.
spooky game.
Bloodborne was scary. I would give you that.
Yeah, and they have the gnarled trees that make the silhouettes, the cool Halloween classic silhouettes. That's a game you play on Halloween, Bloodborne. And if that doesn't count, well, you guys said it does, but I would also say Monster Party on the Nintendo Entertainment System.
What is that? I've never heard of that game.
Super
That's
weird.
scary?
I remember Monster Party. That's back in the
No,
day.
Scary.
but up until the last boss. I mean, there's a pumpkin monster. I mean, if you think pumpkins,
Yeah.
they're spooky.
I think
I
pumpkins
guess.
are spooky.
What
Yeah.
about Fatal Frame? Remember that one?
Fatal Frame
I
was
loved
scary.
Fatal Frame,
Fatal
and I
Frame
liked
2 was so
all of
good.
them.
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3. I mean, 3 wasn't the best, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I mean, and obviously Silent Hill, all the way up till 4. 4 kind of sucked. 4 was The Room, and then after that, it all just went.
PT is amazing. If you
PT
guys-
was good.
Now, I know it's really hard for a lot of people to play now because it's no longer available to download, but if you can find a friend who still has it on their console, which I do, guys,
Yeah.
be my friend, and then and then you can play PT. PT was amazing.
Yeah, and also, have you guys tried Party Hard yet?
No.
What is that?
That's where you are a serial killer that hides out at people's house parties and have to come up with creative ways of killing them before you are discovered by the police.
That sounds genius.
It's so fun.
Okay, I need 4 more headshots. I got this.
That sounds like Night Trap, though. You guys remember Night Trap?
I don't
on
remember
Sega
Night
CD?
Trap.
Did you own it? Did you have Night Trap?
I did, yeah. I still have my Sega CD, but it was basically the same thing. These girls were having a slumber party, and then you were trying to. You were the security guard.
I'm gonna kill that
guy.
fly.
Yeah,
If it flies back.
Somebody do something.
Getting spooky.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Time for
it's
spooks.
The dead have risen.
What about let's see. Fatal Frame was a great one. Silent Hill, Party Hard. There
What
was
about Dead
one more.
Space?
Yeah.
Dead Space is
yeah,
good.
Yeah, Dead
That's a
Space.
good
Cool, but that
game.
just
Resident Evil, the first
Resident
original
Evil
one was
disappeared
great.
for a while.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to talk about is bad horror games too.
Bad horror games.
Yeah. Like what makes a bad horror game a bad horror game?
I guess if it doesn't
the
scare you.
gameplay is bad.
Right, is it gameplay or is it just like I'm not scared, this game's not
How many
good?
games really scare you though, Kyle Boston?
I'm scared
You
by
don't like to be scared.
I'm
Costume
scared
Quest
by
did not
most
scare you.
games. Sorry?
Costume Quest didn't scare you, did it?
No, not scary at all. Oh my god. Come on.
Kyle, come on.
There we go.
Boston.
Yes. Okay. So what do we need? 2 more? Are we that close? Okay. Here's the lady. Lady zombie.
Did it
Lady
count?
zombie.
Oh no, it's
More,
only
Kyle.
zombies in
Come
the head, right? So that
on,
guy didn't
Bossman.
count.
Okay. We're doing okay. We're doing all right.
I'll tell you a bad scary game. One that makes you depressed. And I felt like I felt depressed during some of the Silent Hill games because if you're
really?
walking around those rusty
You're gonna get messed up.
Oh,
you're dead! Yeah, I knew it.
Oh, I missed.
I knew it.
So I was all out of Deadeye. This always happens to me. Oh my god.
Kyle
Oh.
Boston.
So wait.
We're done.
You
That's
gotta
it.
get, we gotta get 8 in a row?
It's gotta be, if you miss a shot, you lose.
I'm over, Kyle. All right,
over it.
Kyle,
Oh
thanks
my
for
God.
playing.
Here, get 'em all
Continuing
right
our
now.
Halloween theme, earlier this
1,
summer,
2, 3. I mean,
Behavior
if we get all 8
Interactive
right now,
released Dead by
potentially.
Daylight, an instant horror classic that delivered screams and literally made people jump out of their seats. This week, they released an additional chapter to the game with a new map and characters, including Michael Myers himself. Here's Dead by Daylight, the Halloween chapter.
They killed me.
This week, I thought I'd give you my take on a question that was prompted by the announcement that Turtle Rock Studios was stopping development of their game Evolve. That question is, when should a game be put to rest? When should a developer finally move on? Now, Evolve is a great tale of a game's rise and fall from greatness. Initially, the press lauded this 4v1 monster versus hunter game with awards and praise, including lots of awards at E3. I think it even won Best of Show, because it was a ton of fun to play when you were all together at a video game convention and you could talk to each other. But when it came out, Evolve never delivered. It had an insane DLC scheme with tons of monetization, and even though it sold 2.5 million copies, players found the concept was a lot more fun in theory than execution. That right there makes you wonder, what should a developer do in that scenario? What's their obligation to go and fix or improve a game, and when should they take their bad reviews, Twitter complaints, and just move on? Now, as a consumer who paid $60, what should you expect? How long should a developer toil toil away to try and fix a game or make it better? It's probably the same question that Hello Games is struggling with right now. They have your $60, maybe if you didn't get a refund on Steam, and now they have to balance the desire to fix the game with updates with the appeal of moving on to start something new. At the same time, they've made tens of millions of dollars. How much of that should be rolled back into the game and its development? Now, there's no hard or fast rule here, but in the case of Turtle Rock, you have to admire they tried to fix things. They took the game free to play on PC as Evolve Stage 2, added new features, and tried to build up that player base. And it worked for a little while. Customers who paid $60 might have been a little upset at first that they were now giving away the game for free, but then they eventually realized that at least this meant the game would live on and be improved for a while. Eventually, though, the opportunity costs added up and Evolve had to stop evolving. The team spent 5 years and they needed a break. No one wants to see developers ship and cut bait. There's nothing worse than a developer disappearing after a game ships. And speaking of that, I know many of you feel that way about No Man's Sky and have been asking me on Twitter, when is Sean Murray coming on the show? I sent him an email to ask when he's open to coming on since we're almost at the end of October, and I will let you know when I hear back. Now, in many ways, we as gamers are investors in games and ideas, and even early access games often ask for our money up front, with us knowing full well the vision may never be realized. It's no different than a Kickstarter. We buy into a dream. But where it gets dangerous is when we buy a game expecting one thing only to get something different. Now, nothing is more crushing to a developer than to have their game fail or not find an audience. But now, with patches, updates, and a continued commitment to development, a game has a second shot at greatness. And you have to admire that a game like Evolve tried something new. Even if it did ultimately fail, I'd rather see more Evolves than the same old shooters year after year. And I think you would too. But that's just my take. All right, well, thanks again for watching. Be sure to be back here next Thursday night. We've got a great show with a lot of special guests. We'll be talking about all things Nintendo and Sony and PlayStation, and of course, recapping the League of Legends Worlds and previewing BlizzCon 2016 that'll be happening next weekend here in LA. It is the season. All right, and also, Dear Bossman, the fan favorite. You've been wondering when Dear Bossman is going to be back. Next Thursday night, the return of Dear Bossman. Get ready for it. All right, that and so much more next Thursday night live at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on the West Coast. We want to thank you guys for tuning in live and watching live with YouTube Gaming. It's been a ton of fun producing this show. Good night. We'll see you next week for another episode.